Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Wednesday, March 27th, 2013. Well, I promised to keep it short today. Yesterday was kind of lengthy, so we'll make this one brief. And we'll take a peek at the market. Looks like it might be flat or down a little bit this morning. Actually, the NASDAQ 100 futures here was positive a while ago, and now it too has gone negative, and the Dow and the ES have both crept down slightly, along with the Russell, since I first started drinking my first cup of coffee this morning. Gold peaked above 1600 yesterday, and then it looks like it fell back overnight or later in the day. Silver is still down in the 28 level, and gas is about where it was yesterday. Oil is about where it was yesterday. Gas is definitely not where it was yesterday because it's flying around all over the place all the time. It's almost like live trades when you go to drive down the street, go by a gas station on the way to something and come back on the way back and the price has changed. It's almost like watching the numbers change here. And that's about it. I think that let's take a look at any sort of news affecting. Oh yeah, well, I might talk about her later sometime. Okay, let's look at the calendar. Yesterday's announcements, durable goods orders, in my opinion, from what I was reading, looked kind of mixed, and new home sales actually fell short. So we have pending home sales this morning at 10 o'clock, and this petroleum status report. But tomorrow is a biggie. Tomorrow is GDP and jobless claims, and those are kind of biggies, and we will be watching those tomorrow morning. Alright, back to our account. So what I'm going to do today is I'm not going to go through the, like I mentioned, I'm in almost everything that's on the A+ list, with the exception of Chipotle and I think one other, Apple, actually. So I'm not going to look at any charts today. What I am going to do is I'm going to take a look at things from an analysis tab perspective, but first we'll take a look at each account separately. The insurance policies over here aren't doing so hot. The rut is actually still up a little bit. I expect to get a little bit of movement, drop this minus $333 here a little bit today based on what I'm seeing here. And then the spreads, the credit spreads, Netflix is making me a little bit nervous. We'll take a look at that on the risk graph. Switching over to the Profit 10 portfolio, the insurance policy here, no comment about it, just waiting to see what's going to happen. But the actual iron condors here are doing pretty well. They've been creeping up, like $20 or $30 a day, all the way up to 279 with about 4 weeks or so to expiration, because these are April expirations. So we have about 4 weeks. 4 weeks and 2 days, I believe. So we're not doing too bad there. Okay, we'll go on the overall account here. Okay, now let's take a look. Start with Amazon on the Analyze tab, and we're just looking at the live price right now. We have a delta of 7 on that, so we're okay. I'm not worried about that a whole heck of a lot. Baidu is doing just fine. CF, I'm a little worried about that because of its strong downtrend as we saw on the chart yesterday. Google is right at break even practically. We're hoping for some movement down there. MasterCard is doing rather nicely. I only have, I'll just do reset slices here. Okay, so it's the live price here. MasterCard's a little strong, but it's doing okay. Netflix, well, we have a couple of trades and 2 accounts on that one, so let's take a look at credit spread. Netflix had a strong move yesterday, up, which was sort of surprising, but not unusual, I guess, for anything these days. And I expect it to settle down. I think we're doing okay with that. I'm not going to panic on that at this time. Priceline. Well, wait a minute. Let's go back to Netflix. We have to look at and see what's going on in the other account with the Iron Condor, and that's doing very well. We're almost at an excellent point here. I mean, if we get up into the 80s, I'm out of it. I'm not going to, then I won't have to sweat this. So any of these where I'm going to hit 80% of my potential profit, I'm out of it, just to reduce my risk. So all of them, they all come in at around $100 or so if they pay, if I get out at 80%. All right. Priceline. Priceline's doing fine for right now. I'm happy with that. Panera, pretty happy with that too. This is $109. 80% would be, $85 or so. So I would be happy with that. And then we get into the insurance policies here. This is on the Qs. And we'll see if we get some sort of pop on that. The Qs, the volatility for it right now for the NASDAQ 100 is 13.42. So that's low, and we would expect that to probably move up a little bit today. Then let's go down to the Russell double calendar that we have on that we put on recently. That's still up there. It's still showing a profit. And the spiders, this is almost at max loss here. So this is an April insurance policy that we're probably going to eat unless we get a movement today. If we get a little bit of a movement up and I can drop this down to a reasonable loss, like around maybe 150 or so, I may get out of it. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one today as well. All right, and then I just want to take a look at Apple. I want to take a look at Apple, chart on Apple. Just because I always want to know what's going on with Apple, and I don't think I looked at it yesterday, so I want to look at it now, and we'll see what we are seeing. All right, let's just bring this in a little closer here. We just banged up against the 9-day here, and we've been staying above the 9-day. But I think that if we get a move, if it dips below here, this is looking like as though it might be kind of running out of gas. Momentum is shifting a little bit to the downside here. It's been kind of stagnant for the last couple of days. And I think I'm going to put a target in up here. What do you think? I think I will. We may have already hit our target. So I just want to bring that in as a point of focus for the future. And I'm going to watch it today, and I will set an alert here. Oops. Set an alert. I had Thinkorswim give me another little bit of heartburn again this morning. 461. It closed at 461. Let's make this 460. So if it moves down at the open, and that's what it'll do. If it's going to do anything, it's going to do it at the open because it pretty much gaps. Let's take a look here. 460, 462, already 1,000 shares. Yeah, that's a pretty wide spread, but it's pre-market too. So we're looking at 461 something here. So we'll see what happens on Apple today. And what would I do? Well, I think I would do maybe a Condorized credit spread on this. And what would that look like? That, to me, if it's an April expiration, so we would have 4 weeks. Let's drag this down here. We got 50 strikes here. That's too many, I think. Let's go 28. And I'll show you something on the risk profile that may be interesting to you. We're looking at maybe something. Let's see what we get here at 490. We get 63 cents there at 490, and if I wanted to Condorize it, I might pick something down here around, maybe down here. We'll just see, and I'll show you on the risk profile how we can tweak these around if you're interested in doing it that way. So that's almost $1. So that's not too bad. Okay, so let's say that you wanted on the high end. This is an April expiration. So on the high end, let's say you wanted you wanted 15%. So that would give you an 85% probability. So that would be right around here. So that's a good number there, that 490. That's a pretty good number. Let's say you wanted it on the downside, you wanted 95%. Well, then you just drag, I'm watching this number here, and I'll just drag this down here to say, well, okay, right down there at 410 is where, if I wanted a total of better than 85% probability that this is going to expire out of the money, I have 15% on this end and 5% on the downside. Now the downside has a little bit more volatility to it, so you get a better premium on it. So you could say I wanted to go down to 410 if you really wanted to be very, very safe. I wish I didn't have to. I wish you could just type a number in there. That would be, oh, you don't get any, oops, 415. 405. There we go. Right, we still get $76 for this, and there's a very good probability that this is going to expire successfully. So this is a pretty good bet, I would say. And if you did a couple of them, here you get your $152 with $1,000 of risk. So that's about 10 to 1. So we're looking at a 90% probability and a 10 to 1 risk reward on an almost certain trade here. That's not too bad. So I might do that. We'll see if that alert triggers on Apple. I'll come back and take a look at this, and I might do this particular trade. Alright, I think that's it for today, actually. I promised it would be short, and it is, at least shorter than yesterday. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and happy trading.